Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10, broadcasting live from Lagos. A reminder of our top stories. President Jonathan writes the National Assembly asked for extension of state of emergency in the Northeast. Former Vice President of the World Bank for Africa, Obi Ezekwesili, lashes out at the federal government, carpets economic plans. The Inspector General of Police bans rallies and processions around security areas, including airports. And latest forensic report indicates that former Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat may have been poisoned with radioactive polonium. All our top stories and other programs can be found on our website, channelstv.com, and on youtube.com/channelsweb. To get us on the move, visit m.channelstv.com to view us live on your mobile device. You can also download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS, and Windows phones from their respective stores. You can now interact with Channels Eyewitness feature on our Android and Windows 8 platforms. If you have a picture or video to share with us, all you need to do is download the Channels TV and Android application on your device, swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu, and follow the instructions to share your report, pictures, and videos. Now, barely 24 hours after the leaders of the All Progressives Congress visited Governor Chibuike Amechi, the train moved straight to Minna, the Niger State capital, where they also paid a solidarity visit to Governor Muazu Aliyu. The national chairman of the APC, Chief Bisi Akonde, who was in company of other top members of the newly formed party, told the governor that they were in Niger State to formally invite him to join the party. At the event was former military head of state Muhammadu Buhari, who stressed that the party was on a rescue mission and will require the support of the people of the state. And the APC is indeed not making any bones about its plans to expand its membership ahead of the 2015 elections. Now, after wooing the Niger State Governor, Babangida Aliyu, and his supporters, they moved on to Kwara State, where the same message was passed on to the Governor, Abdul Fattah Ahmed. The leadership of the party made it clear that it has a space for Kwara people and their governor. The meeting took place today at the Kwara State Government House in Ilorin.
We want to see ourselves joining hands with anybody that stands for internal democracy. Because that is where the strength of our people lie. The idea to move on as a state is driven by the leadership that derives its strength from its people. And that is why we've been holding strong in the last 4 decades. We've done well for coming to us here today to share your dreams and aspirations for Nigeria with us. Clearly, there are platforms where we have common interests, because Nigerians have common interests. As we are aware, we are still under the leadership of PDP, which is undergoing its own challenges today, and conciliations are still ongoing with the presidents and the rest of the party. Clear areas of differences have been isolated, and they have been critically reviewed. We hope that the interests of this country will take precedence over and above any self-interest.
The Court of Appeal, Abuja Judicial Division, has nullified the judgment of the Federal High Court Abuja, which removed Mr. Olagunsoye Oyinlola as the National Secretary of the People's Democratic Party. In a unanimous decision today, the judges ruled that Justice Abdul Kifarati erred in his ruling of January the 11th, in which he declared that Mr. Oyinlola was not validly elected as the National Secretary of the PDP at the National Convention of the party, which held on March the 24th, 2012. Mr. Oyinlola had contested the ruling of the Federal High Court, Abuja, on the grounds that the trial judge erred by taking a decision that negated the provisions of the PDP constitution. Now, for more on the news at 10, we take you to Abuja studios where Linda Akigbe is standing by.
Thanks, Suleiman. And now the news from Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory. Nigeria's ambassador to India, Mr. Ndubisi Amaku, says that the Nigerian community in India is feeling aggrieved after one of its citizens was killed in Goa. Ambassador Amaku says the resort state's subsequent order to deport Nigerians living illegally there was like rubbing salt on their wounds. Tensions have been rising since a Nigerian man was stabbed to death and 5 others were wounded last week. Soon after the killing, nearly 200 Nigerians blocked Goa's main highway for several hours. There are about 40,000 Nigerians living in India, and Mr. Amaku says he's concerned about the safety of his people. Meanwhile, police in Goa have made the first arrest in the murder case. Meanwhile, Nigeria's chairman, House Committee on Foreign Affairs, Honorable Nenna Ukeje, says that the Nigerian constitution has a clear provision for the security of life and properties at home and abroad. Honorable Ukeje charged Nigerian missions abroad to be alive to their responsibility in ensuring the security of lives and properties of Nigerians abroad.
Of course, the ground norm, the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is very clear that the security of lives and property of Nigeria is guaranteed under the Constitution. And of course, we all know that any law that is not in conformity with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, to that extent, that law is null and void. Of course, I don't think that there needs be any other law, because that would amount to over legislation. But what that law does is that it is the security of lives and property of Nigerians are guaranteed within Nigeria. But then we also have the missions abroad that carry the mandate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And they are charged with the responsibility of ensuring that Nigerians around the world do not come to danger. And when they do come into any kind of danger, there are set rules and responsibilities that the missions have towards the citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
The Nigeria Police Force has launched a media campaign which seeks increased participation of the public in combating crime and criminality. At the kickoff of the campaign in Abuja, the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Abubakar, said the objective of the campaign is primarily to increase information and intelligence gathering between the Nigerian police and the Nigerian people.
This program is primarily to mobilize public support and partnership in way of tackling crime and criminality, such as terrorism, kidnapping, human trafficking, rape, and any other heinous crime in this country. At the same time, to create awareness on the part of Nigerians that has to do with crime and criminality, because most people see things happening and they take their head off it. To, at the same time, create an opportunity for members of the public to have a format of reporting information and intelligence to the Nigeria Police and other security agencies through telephone numbers that have been provided through our emails of the commissioners of police of all the states, the assistant inspector general of police in the zones, and the public relation officers of each.
The House of Representatives has mandated its committees on environment and emergency disaster preparedness to investigate the non-implementation of United Nations Environmental Project report on Ogoni land. In a motion by Kingsley Chinda, the House noted that 2 years after the report was presented to President Goodluck Jonathan, the federal government is yet to act on it. The Joint Committee is expected to summon the managers of the hydrocarbon pollution restoration project set up by the federal government in the wake of the UNEP report and report back in 4 weeks.
The House is worried that the federal government's effort at addressing the issues raised in the report by hurriedly setting up the hydrocarbon pollution restoration project on the eve of presentation of the UNEP report is a mere window dressing, as it has been largely ineffective, ineffectual, and short of the Ogoni people's expectation. The House is also worried that High Prep is placed under the supervision of the Ministry of Petroleum Resources, a major polluter in Ogoni land, and the only visible act of implementation of the UNEP report by High Prep is the placing of signposts at strategic places in Port Harcourt and Ogoni land, informing people that the environment has indeed been contaminated and that people should keep off the affected areas, while the Ogoni people continue to drink contaminated water and seafood is being scourged from the polluted water, and the community people still process their foods in crude-coated creeks. The House is disturbed that the situation is already generating ill feelings and despondency amongst the Ogoni people, and unless the report is fully implemented, they would continue to suffer pain and feel alienated in their land, a situation which could further lead to tension in the area.
Ahead of the 2014 budget presentation, the Ekiti State Governor, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, has commenced another round of tour of local government areas. This time, it was the turn of residents of Ekiti to host the governor. Welcoming him on behalf of the people, the traditional ruler of the area, Adegoke Adeboye, asked the governor to expedite action on the development of the town.
The town hall meeting organized by the Ekiti State Government is to give the citizens a chance to have a say in how they are governed. And when the parley shifted to Ikere Ekiti, the monarch of the community, Oba Adegoke Adeboye, presented a list of the people's demands to the governor for consideration ahead of next year's budget.
We want all these things to be moving so that it will be as black as all the others in the state. Ikere needs pipe-borne water.
After the monarch's address, the caretaker secretary of Ikere local government, Fajobi Oluwatoyin, says Dr. Fayemi has indeed transformed the state and endorsed him for another term.
People can see the infrastructural development that is happening in the town, and we are pleading to you people that should come. The train is open to everybody. Let's come together and make sure that Dr. Fayemi come back again in 2040 so that this developmental project will continue.
Having listened to the people through their representatives, Governor Kayode Fayemi assured them that the towns and village meetings will continue to form part of his administration's cardinal program, as it has created a platform for the government to interact with citizens, and he concluded by telling them that all their requests will be looked into.
We decided that what it really required is a comprehensive reconstruction, not a renovation. So that is what we are now doing on that Ikere Igbaraodo road. Collectively in Ikere, we need to make sure that we repair the reservoirs and the pipes that used to supply water here.
From there, Governor Fayemi and his entourage went to other parts of Ikere Ekiti to continue with the interaction and commissioning of various self-help projects undertaken by the people.
And that's all from the FCT. Now back to you, Sulaiman.
Well, many thanks, Linda. And when the News at 10 returns, Ogun State Government discusses Budget 2014. There's some business news. Join us again.